Another female millionaire made just like that. Number one way women become millionaires in this country is?
Divorce.
Divorce, that is correct.
So I've been engaged twice. So this is like a real issue. I've researched and everything.
Yeah.
My personal stance is I'll sign a prenup as long as there's a cheating clause.
Okay.
So if my husband were to cheat on me, I get 70% instead of 50. That's
Okay.
my personal rule.
Right.
And I do think women deserve compensation for being married.
For sure.
If you take being a wife seriously, what you're doing is giving up your career and your opportunities for your man.
Yep, you're seeing more and more of that too. James Sexton, it's funny, I'm going to sell out James here for a second. He wanted me to do a story on this at one point, but he told me about this situation where he was doing a prenup, and it was a younger woman and it was an older guy, and the older guy was in crypto, and he just came up with like $10 million, and he was making more. He decided at 36 or 38 or however old he was that he wanted to marry his 24-year-old girlfriend, right? But I want to get a prenup, right? So he goes to James and has him write the prenup up. They then take the prenup, like the 24-year-old girl then goes and gives it to her divorce attorney or her attorneys, whatever, and they do exactly what you just said. They go and they rewrite it so it's all in her favor. So if he doesn't do certain things and at certain times, if he isn't worth so much by the time he is 45 years old, then that's an escape clause. And essentially, what's happening right now is you're seeing this.
Marry her?
This new. I don't know. That's what he told me. He said, "What should I tell her?" I said, "Eject, man."
Every marriage is an arrangement, right?
Well, exactly. But it's like you're right. It's like
a job.
All relationships
don't want to
are
work every day.
Choice before it happens to go in.
Now what's happening though is you have this new generation of women who are actually going, yeah, I'm cool with the prenup as long as it has the cheat clause and it has this clause and has all this other stuff that is all weighed in my favor now, but I signed your prenup, so what's the problem?
There are technically boundaries on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
When you're engaged to a divorce attorney, it's a little bit difficult, and then they still hit on you these days when they're married. So yeah, that's an interesting one.
Damn, that was playing with
That's
fire.
the most
You must be a
important
pyro.
graduate.
You were a pyro.
It's interesting. I don't know that a lot of guys would agree to that. Maybe 70% from when we got married, but not 70%. Like if I end up making a bunch of money, I don't know that a lot of guys would agree to that.
Yeah, one objected, which is why I didn't go through with the marriage.
Got it. Have you been married before?
No, just engaged twice.
Just been engaged twice?
Yeah.
Got it.
Did
Okay.
the first one want a prenup?
Yeah, when I said the same thing.
Is
He
it-
was, he was okay with the conditions. There was other reasons I broke up with him.
He was 5'8". Is that what it was?
He was.
He needs
You just realized they make $175,000 more, and then everything's fine that you're 5'8".
We
Actually,
couldn't
I think
agree
mine
on the
was
amount of
too.
kids,
On the amount of kids?
which is a deal breaker.
Wow.
I mean, people-
How many kids do you want?
I say as many as my husband can afford,
Okay.
Yeah.
and for what he could afford and what he was willing, it didn't add up.
How much
just
was he
keep
willing?
Going with kids.
He only wanted 2.
I'm
mean-
good with 2.
Eden, there's ways to trick him. Just get him drunk. What are you doing? Look at Emily. She knows what I'm. There's ways to do it.
Again.
She's agreeing.
Whoops,
There's
the
ways to
condom
trick
broke.
him.
Oh, whoops.
Get him
Do
drunk.
the whole Drake thing.
Take him down to a massage parlor and take pictures of him. And say, hey, he was right here.
Travis Hunter has a prenup. Everyone who's married has a prenup. It just was written by the state. It was written by the government. Rather than written by him and the person he allegedly loves more than the other 8 billion other options in the world. Like every marriage has a prenup. A prenup is just a rule set. Okay. And Travis Hunter is a smart guy who knows how to play within a rule set because his NFL career and his college career, all this demonstrates how well he plays within a rule set. Anytime I've represented professional athletes, which I've many of over a 25-year career, I can tell you, these guys know how to work within a rule set. They know how to bend a rule set. They know how to comport themselves to what's expected of them. But what's foolish here is that he has decided, look, I've been to the DMV. I've never walked into the DMV and went, these people should be in charge of everything. They should be in charge of the rules of my relationship. And see, NFL players in particular are really susceptible because here's why. NFL players have the shortest careers of professional athletes. That's why their compensation is so front-loaded. And so to get married at a time when you are in your highest possible earning years, without a prenuptial agreement drafted between you and the person that you like out of the other 8 billion other options more than anything, that's foolish. To say, I'm going to trust the government to protect my interests in the event that this marriage ends. Because by the way, every marriage ends. It ends in death or divorce, but every single marriage ends. Now, I hope Travis Hunter's marriage ends in death. That sounds like a terrible thing to say, but I hope it does. I hope they live forever, happily ever after, until one or both of them die, and they die in their sleep peacefully. That's the best thing you can hope for somebody. But their marriage is going to end, and 56% of marriages end in divorce. So if there's a 56% chance you're going to get hit in the head with a bowling ball when you walk out of the house, you're going to wear a helmet. I just stay home that day. So, Travis wears a helmet when he plays football last time I checked. I'm surprised that he's made the choice that he's made. Again, marriage is to some degree the triumph of faith over reason. I respect tremendously people who get married. I think aside from job security for me as a divorce lawyer, I think marriage is like the lottery. You're probably not going to win. But if you win, what you win is so good.
I gotta write that one down.
It's a colossal lapse in judgment. I've been working very hard with Trusted Prenup, which is an organization, a company that I helped found, to try to democratize prenups, normalize prenups, show that it's not just for first-round draft picks. It's for anybody. It's for everybody. And it shouldn't be something that's only available to the wealthy. It shouldn't be something that's only... So we're trying to democratize it. And that's why we've taken the step of we are going to offer to any participant in the NFL draft, all of the new rookies that came out of the 2025 draft, 200 and something players, we will give them all a free prenuptial agreement. No questions asked, total confidentiality. Prenups are not posted anywhere. They're not filed anywhere. They're only filed somewhere if there's a divorce proceeding. So there's absolutely no risk to these guys to absolutely take us up on this offer. They have way too much at stake. And by the way, we want to continue to be cheering for them and have them be undistracted. We want to be able to, Travis should be focusing on getting the ball through the uprights. That's
Is he
what
a Jaguars fan?
on. He should not be focused on worrying about if he could potentially lose half of his net worth due to circumstances beyond his control.
Is there anything to be done after you get married, or is it too late? Is there a postnup that could be signed?
Yeah, there is such a creature as what's called a postnup. There are some problems with postnups. I mean, first of all, it's kind of like saying, once the person is drove off the lot with the car, oh, by the way, I'd like to change the lease. They already drove off the lot with the car. And so it's kind of hard to get, it's easier to get your fiance to agree to a prenup as a condition of you getting married than to get your current spouse to agree to the terms of a postnup. Because what's the threat?
Right, you got no leverage at that
divorce
point, right?
you? Right,
Right,
you've
the
given
leverage
up
is
all of your... You've given up all of your leverage.
So Travis Hunter, he's the second pick in the NFL draft. He's the best college football player. He won the Heisman Trophy. He won the award for the best wide receiver and defensive back. This has never been, this is not since like 70 years has a guy been this good. An unbelievable player. So he goes on Twitch every once in a while and different streaming platforms with his girlfriend, who's a year or two older than him, and she's clearly just manipulating the shit out of him. She gaslights the shit out of him. It looks like she's cheated on him several times. There's videos of her dancing at parties with other people. She's done.
While he waits outside.
Yeah, while he waits outside and he picks her up, and then like he's like, well, she bought me a car, and like, but she bought you a car with your money. Like it's like stuff like that. What happened was the entire world called his girlfriend out because when he won the Heisman, she didn't even want to stand up. During his final game at Colorado, she wouldn't even come hug him. She turns her head away from him. She acts like she's disgusted with him half the time. And this guy's the second pick in the NFL draft, right? Everyone is looking at him similar to the Nina Agdal, Logan Paul thing, where it was like, hey, Logan Paul thinks you've been with 5 dudes, you've been with 500. Like it's something like that. So what happened was he felt between a rock and a hard place. He started making these massively passive-aggressive, super defensive posts on social media, and there's a meme of him. You guys have probably seen the meme with his big old glasses, and he's like, my girlfriend can't even go out with her friends or whatever. And it's like, if you can find the meme for Travis Hunter, it's pretty funny. So he started doing that, and then he was pushed up against the wall. So they took all of their social media down, he and his girl. And then I was like, okay, maybe he's going to break up with her once he gets drafted. And instead, he's chosen to marry her in Florida with it was Tennessee. I think that, they got married in Tennessee with no prenup. So that's going to be amazing. You know what? Another female millionaire made just like that. Number one way women become millionaires in this country is
divorce.
Divorce. That is correct. So we're going to see that here.
Hey, that's not even the funniest part. Have you seen the tattoo that she has? She has a tattoo of a dollar sign on her ring finger.
Oh, God. Oh.
First
and
of-
he still married her.
And they also
If that tells you anything.
stupid.
If that tells you anything.
And so it's interesting. I don't even know if I feel bad for him at this point.
I'm a fan of finger tattoos. That's my next.
And I'm a fan of Anna Nicole Smith, okay? You know, getting rich off of divorce. You know, my mom named it after her.
that one.
Courtney Nicole. You know, it's my name.
have you guys seen this meme before? Because maybe some of you didn't know what this was.
That one.
That's
Okay,
it.
that's it.
Okay, have you guys seen this picture before? That's Travis Hunter saying like,
My girl could throw it back.
she's just having fun when she has fun. I have fun.
Fun, I have fun.
This is a screenshot from his live stream defending his girlfriend. And so after all that, now, congratulations, Duro. He's already won the chip. He has gotten married with no prenup. Any ladies?
Did you see that? Did you see the image of him and her, and they're like showing the rings like this, and she just looks like she's a cat that ate the canary.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my.
Anybody have an
She
opinion
smiled
on
on
this?
that day.
If you guys had a brother and he was going to get married to someone, would you want him to have a prenup?
It depends.
Of course.
She had more money.
If she had more money?
Then
yeah.
no.
Then no? Anybody else?
That's
Grab the
what it
microphone,
says.
guys. Anybody?
Definitely needs the prenup.
Who needs a prenup? What do you think?
If I'm being completely honest, I see a lot of divorce, messy divorces. What is the point? You have your money. He has his money. You guys care about each other as long as.
Because you're angry.
I'm so angry.
No, not you're angry. I'm saying in the divorce, it becomes personal. The divorce attorney's job, by their nature, dehumanizes the other party. And so you don't see them as human. And so you want to take as much as you can and you just burn the house down. You had $1 million in assets. Each person could leave with $500,000, but you spend $400,000 in divorce attorney fees. And then each one of you leaves with, like $300,000. It's like nothing. So
I
that's
don't even want your money. Like, could we just skip the mess?
Laura, so one of the things, most girls don't see it the way you do. If they're going to stay with a guy for 10 years and have kids with him, they're not going to be like, I don't want the money.
They're
Okay.
gonna go out.
I don't want your
Hey,
kids.
how long
I don't
do
want
you
your
think
shitty
till
DNA.
Travis has to hire James?
Huh?
That's the real question. When
So I believe James, he works with that organization that would help him with a prenup, but I believe James is licensed in the state of New York. And because Travis doesn't live in New York, I don't know if he could. He could probably advise him, but I don't know if he could actually make a prenup for him. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm totally wrong.